What is going on, everyone? My name is Jason, and this is the iPhone 11 versus the Pixel 4 XL. So I've had my hands on both the iPhone 11 and the Pixel 4 XL from Google for a little over a month now. And in a weird way, the more I've been switching back and forth between these phones, the more I've been wanting to do a video comparing them. Now I'd say it's weird because they're not exactly synonymous phones. To me, the iPhone 11 represents Apple's mass market device, featured and priced to be more appealing to a larger group of consumers, while the Google Pixel 4 XL is kind of Google's most recent attempt to compete in the high-end phone market, representing the company's finest device available within their lineup today. Despite these differences, I feel as though both of these phones cater to a similar segment of the smartphone consumer market, basically folks who are looking for a really good user experience, but don't want to go all out on a baller flagship smartphone like the iPhone 11 Pro or the Galaxy Note 10. And in case you're in that camp and you're trying to decide between these two phones, thought I'd do a quick comparison review to help you decide. Now before we get into the review, if you're into checking out the latest consumer tech products before you buy them, or if you're just a tech head like me, I make a video like this every single week, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell icon so you could be the first to know when a new JSL review is out and you don't miss anything. And real quick, out of curiosity, if you had to choose between the iPhone 11 and the Pixel 4 XL, which one would you go for and why? Curious to get your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Okay, first let's talk physical design between these two phones. Both don't pull any punches when it comes to build material, as both check the quote-unquote premium box by having a glass-on-glass metal frame design, but both phones implement that popular design choice in a bit of a different way. The iPhone 11 uses the more classic approach with the glossy glass and brushed aluminum frame. Dated as it may seem, I do like the way the iPhone 11 looks and feels. The high-end reflective glass contrasts well with the colored aluminum, and though it's technically not Apple's flagship iPhone, it definitely looks and feels like one. The Pixel 4 XL took more of a design leap this year, using this new soft touch finished glass panel on the back and a coated aluminum frame for this unique matte finish around the phone's border. Now one thing I really do like about this design is that the phone is way more fingerprint resistant, and I do like how clean the just white version of this phone comes off. It has this nice contrasting black and white color scheme. But the thing that kinda gets to me about this new material is the feel in the hand. The matte coating around this frame is pretty thick, and honestly it feels way more like plastic than it does aluminum. Pair that with the thin, soft touch glass, and I've said this before, the Pixel 4 XL by default looks and feels like a phone that has a case on it. I mean, you really don't see or feel the premium materials this phone is made out of, and though I still like the look of the phone, to me the iPhone 11 is more refined and appealing to the senses. Kudos for Google for trying something new, but to me the Pixel still needs some more fine-tuning when it comes to look and feel. Now the iPhone may have won that round, it's a different story when talking about display. By far the most controversial design decision from Apple was the implementation of a sub 1080p display on the iPhone 11, a concession that some won't ever be able to get over. But the specs on the display can be really misleading, and honestly the display on the iPhone 11 is going to be more than fine for most people. It's bright, content still comes off sharp and enjoyable, and still contributes to a great user experience. And it's one of the main reasons why you're getting a cost savings on the iPhone 11 in comparison to the iPhone 11 Pro. Now good as it is, it's pretty clearly trumped by the display on the Pixel 4 XL. Not only is it way more spec'd out, it's an OLED display, making for significantly better contrast and vibrancy. It supports HDR content and can get really bright, and HD content consumption is very enjoyable on this phone. And if that wasn't enough, the icing on the cake is that the display in the Pixel 4 XL has a 90Hz variable refresh rate that makes for a noticeably smoother user experience when navigating around the phone's UI. It's one of those features that once you've tried it, it makes it really hard to go back to a lower refresh rate display, and it really elevates the interactive relationship that you have with the phone. All in all, the Pixel 4 XL is the clear winner when it comes to display. It's better in almost every way, and it's the best display that the Pixel has ever had. Okay, next I want to go over a shared feature that's quite exclusive to both of these phones, and that's Face ID. Both the iPhone 11 and the Pixel 4 XL use facial recognition as their only biometric security measure, and though it's something that Apple rolled out a couple years ago with the iPhone 10, this is Google's first debut of this technology within their Pixel lineup. And I have to say, Google did an incredible job. The Pixel 4 XL uses depth sensors for a high level of security and accuracy, it's super simple to set up, and it works really fast. If you look at the side by side, it's just as fast as the iPhone, if not faster. Plus, you can have Face ID unlocked directly to the home page after authentication if you'd like, whereas on the iPhone, you always have to swipe up. The only downside is that in its current state, you could unlock the Pixel 4 XL with your eyes closed, which is a security risk, but apparently Google is working on getting that fixed through a software update in the near future. And look, I know Face ID is not everyone's cup of tea, but personally, I'm a big fan. It's one of those features that's really easy to underappreciate because it feels like you don't have any security measure in place, even though it's super effective at keeping your phone really safe. And I think that's like the ultimate measure of a well-executed feature, something that works incredibly well, and most of the time you have no clue that it's even there. So as far as security is concerned, it's really a push because both the iPhone 11 and the Pixel 4 XL have Face ID systems that more than meet that criteria. Okay, when we look at performance, it's kind of a mixed bag. Both phones come with top-end processors, the iPhone 11 with the beastly A13 Bionic chip, and the Pixel 4 XL with the venerable Snapdragon 855, and performance from a user experience standpoint is accordingly great for both phones. Apps load quickly, the user experience is very smooth and stutter-free, and they're both equipped to potentially last you a while in terms of future-proofing. Where they both suffer is in storage. Both phones start at just 64 gigabytes of internal storage, and both don't offer any external expansion option, so based on the type of user you are, you could quickly find yourself in a memory problem on either phone. Now, an area in performance where the iPhone 11 has a pretty clear advantage is going to be battery life. Primarily through an extremely well-optimized setup between Apple's hardware and software, the iPhone 11 can get a staggering 17 hours of screen on time, and I've never had an issue getting through the day with this phone, even on days of heavy usage. The Pixel 4 XL, on the other hand, comes with a 3700 mAh battery, pretty mediocre considering the power demands from the processor and the display, and though it's not dreadful, the battery life on this phone is not anywhere near class-leading. Days of even moderate usage leaves me anxious that I won't make it through the day, and unfortunately, it looks as though the way the Pixel 4 XL preserves what little battery life it has is by limiting arguably the best feature of the phone, the use of the 90Hz refresh rate on the display. That's why you'll notice that the silkiness of the 90Hz motion isn't there, kind of a lot, and that really sucks because the feature becomes more of a tease than something to become excited about. Okay, the last thing I want to go over on both of these phones are their cameras. Google, which has had the rep of being the camera king for a while now, had some pretty high expectations placed on it when it launched the Pixel 4 XL. I'm going to jump into it and say that the image quality coming out of this phone is still excellent. Google has really mastered their software to pump out an image that is immediately pleasing to the eyes. They're contrasty, razor sharp, vibrant, and have superb dynamic range. The images really grab your attention, and they often won't require any post-editing whatsoever. The images coming on the iPhone are also exceptionally good. Whereas Google has been delivering photo quality like this for a while now, Apple has really stepped up its camera game to get images that are comparable, if not better than the Pixel 4 XL. And that's saying a lot. Color accuracy is fantastic on the iPhone 11, and though the images may not come off as contrasty as the Pixels, they come off way more natural and less processed, especially when shooting in portrait mode. While both rear cameras have dual lenses, Apple decided to go with an ultra-wide camera as their secondary. It's all around more useful and way more likely to be utilized. The Pixel, on the other hand, decided to go with a 2x telephoto zoom lens, which I'm really not sure why they did. I mean, don't get me wrong, the secondary zoom camera is great, and it does a good job taking zoomed in shots, but I just don't see a lot of people using it. I don't think most consumers are into macro photography, and though the images coming out of it might be really good, having a zoom lens in late 2019 seems more dated than it does unique. Now, where the Pixel might have a slight edge in still image quality, the iPhone completely blows it out of the water when it comes to video. The 4K video the iPhone 11 is able to shoot is not only incredibly sharp, the stabilization makes it buttery smooth, and the level of quality here is truly class-leading. Though the Pixel 4 XL can shoot 4K video as well, it's limited to 30 frames per second, it's a bit more washed out when it comes to colors, and it's just not up to the caliber of what Apple is able to put together. So when you factor in all those things, the short answer is that you're not going to have a bad camera here, but if I had to choose, I would say the cameras on the iPhone 11 are a better overall package. The image quality is neck and neck with the Pixel, video quality is the best on any smartphone right now, and the versatility of the hardware is more relevant than what the Pixel is offering. So at the end of the day, if I had to answer the question, which phone is better? It's actually kind of an easy question for me to answer. I mean, the iPhone to me has a better build, still a great display, class-leading performance and battery life, and cameras that can do incredible things. And although the Pixel 4 XL can do a lot of the same, the areas in which it lacks are more pronounced, especially when you factor in probably the most important factor, the price. The base model Pixel 4 XL starts at a pretty staggering $899 US. Now, it's not the most expensive phone out there, but it almost makes the $699 price tag of the iPhone 11 almost seem not that bad, especially when you think about how much more you're getting in terms of an overall package. Not to say that the Pixel 4 XL is bad. I've actually really enjoyed using this phone and I still love the camera, but to me, the iPhone 11 is the clear winner here. And that's not a stab at the Pixel, because to me, it's going to be really hard for any phone to beat the iPhone 11 when it comes to overall value. But hey, those are my thoughts. And ooh, I can already feel the venom in the comments about how I'm a mindless Apple sheep, drank the Kool-Aid. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that I'm right in saying that the iPhone 11 is the superior phone in almost every way? Or do you think that the Pixel 4 XL is better and I'm just judging unfairly? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Okay, that's about it for this review. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you guys found it useful. It really helps me out. If you guys have any questions about the iPhone 11 or the Pixel 4 XL, leave them down in the comments and I'll be sure to get to them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.